Should you or should you not get your hair braided in Lisbon? Let's talk about it. So, if you're new here, hi, my name is Brienne. Thank you for being here. I am currently going through my 2025 travel extravaganzas, and this week we are talking about the Portugal experience. So, I had been traveling for a little over a week prior to going to Portugal, okay? So I was in Greece for my best friend's 30th birthday, and we were in the water. We were, top down in the car, and so my hair was in this cornrow style at the time. And I said, "Oh, this baby is not gonna last through on Portugal. Like it barely made it through Greece." And I was like, I'm gonna have to get my hair redone if I want to have any kind of pride and respect in myself walking in these Lisbon streets. So I ended up getting my hair done in Lisbon at the Secret Salon. I'll be sure to add their raspy. I'll be sure to add their website or their Instagram page. But I was actually quite amazed at the number of braiding spots that there were in Lisbon. And I think because it was so last minute, where I was like, I thought that the hairstyle I got for vacation would last, but it didn't. And so I was already in Greece when I said, oh yeah, I must get my hair done in Lisbon. So by the time I did make that decision, a lot of the other salons were already booked out, and most of them, they have their WhatsApp number in their bio on their Instagram, and then you reach out through WhatsApp. I had found that for the ones that I reached out to, they respond much faster on WhatsApp compared to DMs. So Secret Salon, I actually reached out to them the day before we got to Lisbon. So we did fly into Lisbon, but then we went to the Algarve and spent 4 days down there. So the last day of the Algarve, I looked myself in the mirror and said, you will not, you will not. So on our drive from the Algarve to Lisbon is when I was taking out them braids. Like, that's how last minute it was. I want y'all to understand that context. So I'm taking out the braids soon after they confirm that I can come in the next day. So no, I'm sorry. This is the day of. We checked out of our Airbnb in the Algarve at 11 a.m. We then took the long route to get up to to Lisbon, and it was supposed to be a scenic route, but we barely saw any of that water. So it was like more of like a countryside scenic route, but the people on TikTok, I need to make sure I share my experience. But nonetheless, we checked out of the Airbnb at 11 a.m., drive up to Lisbon. I remember we dropped our stuff off at the Airbnb, and then I took an Uber from the Airbnb to the Secret Salon. So let's start off with the fact that you can literally book a hair appointment same day. Like, I think that's amazing, because where do they do that at? Here? Okay. But nonetheless, so I get there, and they're like, hey, it'll be a few minutes. So I'm like, okay, thank God. Because by the time we got to the Airbnb, I was rushing to get to my hair appointment. And so they were like, 15 minutes. I went down the street, got some smoothie, and then also went to MoneyGram because I needed to get transfer some money to euros. So that all happens. Now, the thing that I love about the Secret Salon is that they actually will wash, condition, and blow dry your hair prior to you getting in that seat to get it braided. I'll add, let me make sure I write this down. So I'll add the link to my Instagram post where I gave the breakdown of how much this cost. But it was super inexpensive. I don't think I paid more than $200, so I have to go back and check. But they provide the hair. They had 2 braiders on me at one point, and I will say it did take a lot longer than I thought it would. Like, I don't think I left there until almost midnight, and my appointment was at like 6 or 7. But, I think one thing that I did learn about I'll say one thing I learned about the braiding culture in Portugal is that most of the ladies that were in that salon, they were actually all from Brazil. And so my taxi or my Uber driver there, he was also from Brazil, and he was just telling me about like what a strong population of Brazilians come to Portugal, but the reverse is like very rare. And so yeah, so like they were, you know, most of them were from Brazil in there, and I didn't understand Portuguese, so I couldn't really converse with them much. But it really did feel like it felt like I was in a family's home with like how they were cutting up with each other and helping each other out. And like one person was supposed to leave much earlier, but she was like, okay, sis, like I'll help you with the braids. And, you know, they were laughing with me. And as I was trying to figure out what to say, they gave me snacks. It was really cute. And I will add that they do braid much not necessarily tighter like on your scalp, but tighter with like, I guess the space in between each, I don't know how to say this, but like the braids were much stiffer than the ones that I'm used to getting here in the US. So be prepared for that. Like the first few days, if you put your hair in a ponytail, it's gonna be like that dent of where you put your hair in the ponytail will be there for a little minute, because I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll show pictures, but just know. I know what I'm talking about. What else? They provided the hair. They washed, the wash and condition felt so good. They're very gentle with like, you know, brushing the hair out and all of that. And then it was interesting. They started in the back, which, you know, that's what anyone typically does as a braider. Started in the back and did singles back there. And then they switched ladies, and another lady did the top part up here in cornrows. And then, you know, the typical mousse, they did the mousse, thank you, Jesus. They did the mousse, they did, like dipped my ends as well. And then, yeah, they were like really happy for me to record. They were like, can you please share this? Like, we're trying to get viral. And I was like, I'm not the viral girl yet. Actually, I am, because I do have a video on TikTok that hit 4.5 million. I haven't shared it publicly, but yeah. Nonetheless, okay. So yeah, I did do a video on Instagram. I think I posted one here on TikTok, or on TikTok as well, just sharing my experience. But I definitely do recommend them. You just have to know I don't think it's specific to the salon, but Portugal is very much a culture where it's like, it'll get done when it gets done, whether that's the rent being paid, whether that's your hair getting done. Like, there's no rush really. And I think it definitely did replicate a bit of island culture, like in the Caribbean, where it's like we're on island time. But yeah, it was definitely like, I was like, I'm still in this chair. Oh my God. But they were just loving life. Like, they were enjoying each other's company. So I'm like, hey, I guess we in it. But yeah, that is my experience with getting my hair braided. You know, it was a few minutes late, but it was fine. And they take their time, but they're very thorough, very neat. Double checking, are you sure? Am I hurting you? I don't want to hurt you. And yeah, very much a family feel. So hope this was helpful if you were considering the Secret Salon and just, you know, worrying that maybe you're booking something too late, you're not gonna be able to get an appointment. Definitely check them out. And if you do end up going, tell them that Bree sent you. I wonder / hope if they remember me, but I know that like we still follow each other on Instagram and all that jazz. So, okay, that is everything for today's video. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.